Okay, this is take two here. Yeah, but signing on for that third wave of punk rock like I did, you better have your life together. You better have I mean, I did rock and roll, but slash punk pretty much. But it's like, after this, it's kind of like, it's a lifestyle. You live it because you're poor, just like I imagine rock and rollers did. And you have to do your best to look good. You've been, you fucking, you go to work in the morning on the CDTA bus line, and I'm not the only one. We all had it. My bass player and I used to drink over it and cry over it. You just want to kill yourself. You're working minimum wage. You don't have health insurance. You work under the table probably because, yeah, you have no fucking skills, just like me or him or whatever. He learned to trade and got health insurance. I got left in the mire. And you be on the bus and all you smell is that death rot coming off the boots, coming through the boots, and then you start looking around on the bus. Does anybody smell that? If I can smell it, they can smell it. And you look and it seems to be okay, and it's just, you just want to blow your fucking brains out. You drink harder, and then you become an alcoholic because your girl left you, probably because of the foot rot maybe. and this is, yeah, and then you go, and then you start working with a girl, and you fall secretly in love with her, and you're working your way inch by inch to her, and then finally she picks you up or gives you a ride home, and she turns on the heat, and then the rot starts coming up from your boots, and I'm like, oh my God, please no, and you just want to tell her, and she's thinking to herself, oh my God, what the fuck is that death? It smells like a dead body in there. In here. And she doesn't say nothing. Of course, you don't say nothing. You want to tell her, listen, I'm really a nice guy and I'm clean and everything. I contracted this weird Vietnam jungle rot, this trench foot from World War II. And it's my shoes. I remember always, and Ted always, I love Ted. Ted sleeping with my roaches. Ted putting up with my foot rot. Ted the one day told me, just throw your shoes out the fucking window, Aaron. I'll buy you a pair of sneakers. And he did. I remember that. It was just so bad. It crippled me. I used to cry to him about it. So you gotta get insurance, man. And yeah. And you go on your first date, and everything's going good, and it's like beat the clock. You put on 2 pairs of socks, and that helps, but it's also a curse because you start sweating more, and you're like, I gotta beat the clock. By midnight, the foot rot is gonna be raging. And what happens then? Do I have to fuck her with my boots on? And of course you do, and it's very punk, but she wants to know, why don't you take your boots off? And you're like, because it's about that magic time when the rot is really kicking. Normally you go home and you burn the socks, and you try to put your feet, if you can afford bleach, in a thing of bleach. I used to wrap them in Vaseline, anything. Me and Nick used to talk about it. Nick was joking at work one day with me at Mako. He picked up a circular sander. He's like, I've had it with my fucking feet, Aaron. We got to do something. You want some? 120 grit on your feet? Me and you do me, I'll do you. And I just died laughing. Eventually it went away. You have to pull certain drastic measures. Going on welfare helped, I could go down to DKNY, and back then you could buy a bag of cheap socks for $1 a day. But that jungle rot, that foot rot, and it was a smell I remembered before I got into the scene. Then I found out what it was. It seemed to be rampant in the punk rock community. If you go into a dude's house, you expected to smell it. I remember hanging out every time I got close to Dwayne. I used to look at him and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you that you don't smell like foot rot? That's what I always used to think when I used to talk to him. Because he had a job and he had a girlfriend and he even got rides to work. And, he was punk as fuck. He just didn't go that low. And he used to tell me, too. He's like, Aaron, why don't you get a job? I'm like, get a job? What for? Get a fucking job? My father told me, fuck the workforce, you're a fuck up, you better play. But no, he was the only one. Everybody else. No matter what band was coming in, they could be young kids on the way up and just coming through, college kid, and you'd be like, yeah, I smelled rot. As he walks past you, I smell leather and rot. That was punk rock. The girls smelled like it too. But that was the worst shit ever. Your bottom of your feet looked like hamburger. You'd wear black socks because that's the only thing they sell at DKNY. And then you get black specks all over your feet. Black from where, because your feet were hamburger and then they puff back out when they dry. Yeah. And then years later, me and Summer were looking up pictures of it in the fucking encyclopedia. In an old encyclopedia, what trench foot looked like. Yeah, dude. I think I got my first trench foot infection from a pair of 8-eye Doc Martens. Because my feet were never the same after that, and they infected everything. If you slipped your foot into a brand new, yeah, you could get, if your mom bought you some brand new shoes from the dollar store, you try to slip into them. By the end of the day, they were infected with rot. You try to pumice them, no, it doesn't work. You have to literally, yeah. That's what I remember about the communal diseases of punk rock. To this day, whenever I smell Vanilla Fields and trench foot, or I can smell it still in my brain, like the smell of a bunch of girls in a room that can only afford like, perfume like that they would wear, and just the smell of death. It was like, yeah, but you sign on for life. You get your tooth falls out, you're on your own. You don't have insurance. You're a bum. You know what I mean? You got jungle rot? Oh well. You got a VD? Better get some insurance. My life sucked. It was all because of health insurance. When my parents split up, I couldn't use my father's insurance. For some reason, it got all weird. Fucking jungle rot.